You've come late, and secondly, you are disorderly. Order, members at the bar. The House is in session. Honorable members, in the same spirit of sports excellence, I also draw your attention to the upcoming 15th edition of the East African Community Interparliamentary Games, scheduled to take place in December 2025 in Kampala, Uganda. The annual event had been scheduled to be hosted by the Republic of Burundi. However, due to resource constraints, they have expressed their inability to do so. These games, which bring together parliamentarians and parliaments of the East African community, play an important role in promoting integration, enhancing visibility of our institutions, and strengthening people-to-people bonds across the region. I therefore urge members to step up preparations to ensure Kenya's effective participation in the Games. This will enable us to maintain the country's leading role in supporting integration and parliamentary solidarity through sports as we showcase our sports talents on the regional stage. Honorable members, as we embark on the third and final part of the session, this fourth session, let us remain committed to serving the people with diligence, integrity, and service above all. Once again, I welcome you back and look forward to a productive third part of the session. Finally, please join me in the usual way by celebrating such momentous achievement as a House by thumping your feet for the next 30 seconds. Thank you. Those at the bar, you see what you have missed by coming late. Honorable members, I also hasten to mention that I went to Kampala accompanied by a member for Arieda to salvage the hosting of the Iyala Games. So when it comes to giving comments, I'll also accommodate him the first opportunity to speak to this, because we are running the risk of having no host. More importantly, members, I don't want to see a repeat of Mombasa. We performed very badly, even when we were hosting. Let's start in earnest, and I've directed the clerk to avail teams, facilities, and capacity to train and prepare properly and thoroughly, so that we don't go to Uganda and be hopeless bystanders as others harvest medals and medals and medals, like we saw in Mombasa. Members at the bar, please come in. Like I said, after order number 9, I'll allow us to felicitate the Team Kenya. And I notice what is missing in the communication. At least we should also have saluted the coaches of this team that make proper selection of good athletes, mentor them, and take them to give Kenya an image worth emulating. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Members on their feet, take the nearest seats. Members at the bar, take the nearest seats. Thank you. Honorable members, I have a message from the Senate on the nomination of a co-sponsor for the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bill number 41 of 2023. Honorable members, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 41-4 relating to messages from the Senate, I wish to report to the House that I have received a message from the Senate regarding the nomination of a co-sponsor for the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bill number 41 of 2023. In the message, the Speaker of the Senate notifies that pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 162 of the Senate Standing Orders, Senator Esther Okenyuri, MP, being the sponsor of the said bill, has nominated the member for Kilifi North, the Honorable Owen Bayer, CBS MP, to co-sponsor the bill in the National Assembly. Honorable members, you may recall that on Tuesday, 19th August 2025, I reported to this House a message from the Senate regarding the passage of 5 bills by the Senate, among them being the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bill 41 of 2023. As you may have noticed in today's order paper, the bill is scheduled for first reading under order number 9. Thereafter, the bill will stand committed to the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives as earlier directed on 19th August 2025. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 1431B of the National Assembly Standing Orders, the Honorable Owen Bayer, CBS MP, will now assume the role of the co-sponsor of the bill and will be responsible for marshalling its consideration in the National Assembly. I thank you. Next.
Order number 4, petitions.
Members on their feet at the bar, take the nearest seats. Farah, where is your nearest seat? Thank you, honorable members. Honorable members, I wish to convey a petition regarding a proposal to amend the Consumer Protection Act to provide for the induploom rule. Honorable members, Article 119 of the Constitution accords any person the right to petition Parliament to consider any matter within its authority. Further, Standing Order 2252B requires the Speaker to report to the House any petition other than those presented by a member. Honorable members, in this regard, I wish to report to the House that my office has received a petition from Mr. Allen Waiyaki Gishuhi, EBS Senior Counsel, of Wamai and Allen Advocates, calling for the House to consider amending the Consumer Protection Act Cap 501 to codify the induploom rule. The petition avers that the purpose of the rule is to protect borrowers from exploitation, prevent endless accumulation of interest, and encourage fair lending practices. Section 44A of the Banking Act codifies the induploom rule, which provides that interest on a loan ceases to accrue once it equals the outstanding principal amount when a loan becomes non-performing. The petitioner further states that despite the existence of this law, many borrowers continue to suffer from banks, financial institutions, unscrupulous lenders, and shylocks, charging interest and penalties beyond the principal loan amount. These practices have resulted in the violation of consumer rights under Article 46 of the Constitution and have exposed Kenyans to unfair deprivation of property. Additionally, the inconsistent judicial interpretations on the scope and timing of application of the rule, whether before or after restructuring a loan, or whether penalties count as interest, further lead to the harassment of borrowers by debt collectors, even after repayment obligations have exceeded the statutory threshold. The lack of clarity and enforcement undermines public confidence in the financial sector and violates national values under Article 10, especially transparency, accountability, and social justice. Honorable members, the petitioner therefore prays that the National Assembly considers amending the Consumer Protection Act, Cap 501, to provide for when the induploom rule takes effect, whether it applies to penalties, default charges, and other costs in addition to interest, uniform mechanisms for debt restructuring and recovery in compliance with the rule, redress mechanisms for borrowers who have been subjected to unlawful interest charges, including refunds or set-offs, and any other mechanisms that will secure borrowers from exploitation, enhance consumer protection, and uphold the Constitution. Honorable members, having established that the matter raised in the petition is well within the authority of this House, and further, that the matters raised in this petition are not pending before any court of law, constitutional or legal body, I hereby commit the petition to the Public Petitions Committee for consideration pursuant to Standing Order 208A. The committee is required to consider the petition and report its findings to the House and the petitioner in accordance with Standing Order 227. I thank you. Next. Yes, Mboko Milemba.
I think, Honorable Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Let me thank the petitioner on the matter concerning the Consumer Protection Act and any other relevant legal frameworks and laws that may be in existence, because I remember vividly, this is one area which one earlier legislators by the name Joe Donde really dwelt on for the longest time. And it looked like at one time, Honorable Speaker, that it had been put in law as the petitioner so requests. But somewhat from what we see is that the banks and the other lending institutions still are very harsh on those who do borrow. And they have actually made it difficult for the local and simple people within the communities to do the borrowing. But what still are the other players who have come on board and who are not or seem not to be controlled or checked by this law. These are the many mushrooming small financing institutions that are also giving loans to many Kenyans. I think as the committee looks at this particular petition, it should consider roping in the other many lending institutions which are making it very difficult and catapulting the interest beyond what the borrowers can actually achieve. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kumpongeza ambaye ameleta hiyo petition leo. Mheshimiwa Spika, tunapata wale ambao wanadai watu, Mheshimiwa Spika, ambao wanatoa hizi loan wanaenda hata zaidi. Mheshimiwa Spika, juzi nimekuwa na hawa watu wa tuktuk ambao wanafanya biashara ya tuktuk, Mheshimiwa Spika, na wametaja kuna makampuni ambayo yanatoa loan kama vile Kinamogo, Kinatala na wengine. Mheshimiwa Spika, unapata mtu ametoa jasho lake, amelipa tuktuk mpaka imebaki pengine 10,000, amedefault siku moja ama siku mbili, anakuja anapokonywa ile tuktuk inachukuliwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna wengine hata mimi hapa kwa simu miaka ya nyuma, na siku hizi imebidi niangalie tu, niliwahi kuchukua nikataka kuangalia hizi loans zafanya vipi. Niliwahi kuchukua kwa Tala 2,800. Amini usiamini Mheshimiwa Spika, nililipa 4,000, nikalipa 11,000, nikaja nikalipa 14,000, ilipofika wanandai tena 16,000 kutoka kwa 2,800. Mheshimiwa Spika, hapo ndo nilianza kuangalia kile wakituma message mimi nawaangalia tu, kwa sababu ni uwizi wa dhahiri. Mheshimiwa Spika, na Wakenya wengi huku nje wanalia, wanachukua loan pesa kidogo, lakini ile interest ina accumulate kushinda zile pesa ambazo wamezichukua. Mheshimiwa Spika, Wakenya wengi wamepoteza mali zao, na hasa ino kampuni ya Mogo ukiangalia imeibia Wakenya sana pesa nyingi sana. Mheshimiwa Spika, na hizi Kinatala. Kwa hiyo lazima tuweke sheria ya kuweza kuregulate, tuhakikishe hata kama wanataka kuchukua ile interest isiwe zaidi ya ile pesa ambayo mtu alikopa. Mheshimiwa Spika, wameibia sana Wakenya, na mimi niweze kumpongeza huyu ambaye ameleta hii petition. Nimwambie kama mama kutoka Mombasa ambaye na support bodaboda, na support watu wa tuktuk, na support yule mama mboga na biashara yake ndogo kwa kuibiwa kutokana na hawa watu, nitasupport sheria iweze kutungwa ili tuweze kuhakikisha tuna regulate industry. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. From the onset, let me thank Senior Counsel Alan Gishui for bringing the petition. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to bring to your attention that I wrote to your office on the 17th of this month proposing similar legal reforms. And Mr. Speaker, I do not know where now my reforms will be left now that we have committed the petition to the the Petitions Committee, because I was seeking also to introduce amendments that
I
are
confirm
similar.
that I received your proposal
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
and it's under consideration.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
And this petition does not compromise your intentions.
Most obliged, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Next.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it's nice to be back for the last session of the fourth session. Is it? Okay, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. 1. Draft legal notice relating to the National Police Service Commission Recruitment and Appointment Regulations 2025 from the National Service Commission. 2. Annual County Government Budgets Implementation Review Report for the financial year 2024-2025 from the Office of the Controller of Budget. 3. Annual National Government Budget Implementation Review Report for the financial year 2024-2025 from the Office of the Controller of Budget. 4. Annual Report of the Commission on Administrative Justice for the financial year 2023-2024. 5. Annual Performance Report for the Credit Guarantee Scheme, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, MSMES, from the National Treasury and Economic Planning for the financial year 2024-2025. 6. Report on performance of the special groups, youth, women, and persons with disability for the second half of the financial year 2024-2025 from the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority. 7. Auditor General's Forensic Audit Report on way leave compensation in 7 donor-funded projects by the State Department for Energy. 8. Auditor General's Performance Audit Report on management of unclaimed financial assets. And lastly, Honorable Speaker, report of the Auditor General and financial statements of a case study on integrated delivery of selected non-communicable diseases in Kenya, PHGF grant number TFOA 5636, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital for the year ended 2025, and the certificates therein. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay, and thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairman, Budget.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 23rd September 2025. Reports of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of 1. The Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bill number 7 of 2025, and 2. The County Government's Additional Allocations number 2 Bill, Senate Bill number 8 of 2025. Thank you.
JLAC.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 23rd September 2025. Reports of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs on its consideration of the approval hearing of number 1, nominee for appointment as the chairperson of the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, and number 2, nominees for appointment as registrar and assistant registrar of political parties. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 23rd September 2025. Report of the Development Committee on Defense, Intelligence, and Foreign Relations on the approval hearing of 9 nominees for appointment as High Commissioner, Ambassadors, and Consuls General. Thank you.
Thank you. Chairperson, Public Petitions Committee. Karemba.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 23rd September 2025. Reports of the Public Petitions Committee on its consideration of 1. Public Petition number 52 of 2023 by the Honorable Ibrahim Abdi, MP, regarding the banning of the use of asbestos as a roofing material. 2. Petition number 55 of 2023 by Mr. Bernard Mokaya Magembe, regarding enactment of legislation to regulate the credit management professionals. 3. Public Petition number 74 of 2023 by Mr. Charles Ogola Osango, regarding enactment of the Bankers Professional Bill. 4. Public Petition number 8 of 2024 by Honorable Esther Passaris, MP, regarding amendment to the Penal Code to provide for the offense of sextortion. And 5. Public Petition number 13 of 2024 by Dr. Lukoya Atuli, regarding decriminalization of attempted suicide. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Before the next order, allow me, members, to acknowledge in the Speaker's gallery St. Mary's High Taita from Undanyi, Taita Taveta County. If you are in the gallery and you are mentioned, you stand up to be acknowledged. Thank you. You may take your seats. Ruathia Girls School from Kangema, Muranga. Thank you. From the public gallery, we have St. Jude Catholic Primary from Embakasi East, Nairobi, and Bright Future Vision Academy from Kabete in Kiambu County. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Yes, Wangari?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm just joining you to welcome the students to this House, and also note, Mr. Speaker, that I schooled in Ruathia Primary School in Kangema constituency. And these Ruathia girls, Mr. Speaker, my mother, Nancy Wanjera, has been the secretary there for 42 straight years. 42 straight years until 2018. So it is a school that is very close to me and to my heart, and I join in welcoming all of the others, Mr. Speaker, to the floor of this House.
Thank you. Next order. Congratulations to your mother.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Jane Kagiri.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give the notice of motion. Extension of the African Growth and Opportunity Act, in brackets AGOA, aware that the African Growth and Opportunity, economic growth and social stability. Concerned that the current extension of the AGOA program, which was granted in 2015, is set to expire in September. Economic disruption. United States of America, including agricultural products such as coffee, nuts, fruits, and vegetables, amounting to over US $500 million in the year 2020, as well as enhancing local textile and cotton industries that have generated thousands of jobs. Further acknowledging that the expiration of the term of AGOA would trigger market uncertainty, deter investment, disrupt supply chains, and adversely impact both African and American businesses that rely on AGOA-linked trade. Cognizant of the fact that AGOA has been greatly beneficial to the United States of America by supporting supply chain diversification, strengthening bilateral trade ties, and connecting United States of America businesses to opportunities under the African Continental Free Trade Area, in brackets AFCFTA. Appreciating that the continued existence of the AGOA framework would enhance the trade and investment prospects for both the United States of America and the eligible countries in Africa. Now, therefore, the House urges the government of Kenya, in collaboration with the government of the United States of America, to pursue an
human rights, laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 23rd. Of Article 252 of the Constitution, Section 11 of the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights Act, Chapter 71, and Sections 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Chapter 7F, approves the appointment of Honorable Ms. Clarice Agwor Oganga as the chairperson of the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights. Also, Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs in its report on the approval hearings of nominees for appointment as Registrar and Assistant Registrar of Political Parties, laid on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 23rd September 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act, Chapter 7F, approves the appointment of the following. Number 1, Mr. John Cox Lotionoko as Registrar, and number 2, Ms. Agatha Wanjiku Wahome as the Assistant Registrar of Political Parties. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Sir George. Chairperson, Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations Committee, Bashir. Commissioner Makau, can you disband that Kamkunji? Order. Order, Commissioner. Is that Commissioner Makau or it is no, it is Lendutu.
Yes. Notice of motion, approval hearing of nominees for appointment as Ambassador, Permanent Representative, and Consul General. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That taking into consideration the findings of the Budget Committee on Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations in its report on the approval hearings of 9 nominees for appointments as High Commissioner, Ambassador, and Consul Generals, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 23rd September 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Article 132(2)(e) of the Constitution, Section 222 of the Foreign Service Act (CAP) 185(e), and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act (CAP) 7F. This House approves the appointment of the following persons as High Commissioner, Ambassadors, and Consul Generals. 1. High Commissioner, Honorable Florence Chepngetich Bore, Mission Windhoek, Namibia. Ambassadors, Ambassador Anthony Mwaniki Muchiri, Ankara, Turkey. Ambassador Lucy Kiruthi, Bangkok, Thailand. Mr. Henry Wambuma, Bujumbura, Burundi. Mr. Abdirashid Salad Abdille, Jakarta, Indonesia. Ambassador Joseph Musyoka Masila, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Ambassador Edwin Afande, Vienna, Austria. Consuls Generals, Mrs. Jane Chepkorir Toretich, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, and Mrs. Judy Kiaria Nkumiri, Goma, Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Bashir. Clerk, skip Order 7 for now. Call out Orders 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Order number 8, the Provisional Collection of Taxes and Duties Repeal Bill, National Assembly Bill number 18 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to repeal the Provisional Collection of Taxes and Duties Act and for connected purposes. Order number 9, the Street Vendors Protection of Livelihood Bill, Senate Bill number 41 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide a legal framework for the recognition, protection, and regulation of street vending in Kenya, the identification of minimum standards for street vending and for connected purposes. Order number 10, the Local Content Bill, Senate Bill number 50 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide for a framework to facilitate the local ownership, control, and financing of activities connected with the exploitation of gas, oil, other petroleum resources, and mineral resources, to provide a framework to increase local value capture along the value chain in the exploration of gas, oil, and other petroleum resources and minerals, and for connected purposes. Order number 11, the Early Childhood Education Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 54 of 2023, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Early Childhood Education Act and for connected purposes. Order number 12, the Creative Economy Support Bill, Senate Bill number 30 of 2024, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to establish mechanisms for the support of persons in the creative industry, to enhance the contribution of creative industry to the economy, to establish the Creatives Fund, and for connected purposes.
Thank you. All the honorable members will now go back to the issue of our illustrious athletes and the hosting of Iyala Games in December. On Iyala Games, I'll only give one person to comment. Honorable Tienda Molo, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, allow me to congratulate our athletes who performed very well in Tokyo. It demonstrates that as a country, we remain an athletics powerhouse, and other pretenders to the throne should take note. On Iyala, Mr. Speaker, I wish to inform the members that I was privileged to accompany the Speaker to Uganda. As already advised, the Republic of Burundi was to be our next host but could not host for other reasons. But next in that rotation should have been the East African Legislative Assembly, who also were unable to host again for reasons that can be discussed later. The Republic of Uganda was then to host after that, and therefore it took the persuasion of our Speaker and other speakers who are present to persuade the Republic of Uganda to bring forth their hosting essentially by 2 years, and they graciously accepted, confirming that they'll be able to host the games between 5th and 17th of December, and left the details of the exact place for hosting to the Central Planning Committee that should be meeting anytime soon. The Central Planning Committee will then communicate the schedules and the exact venues. Mr. Speaker, I wish to urge our own Bunge Sports Executive Committee to plan in haste. First of all, to plan in haste in terms of securing hotels and appropriate transport mechanisms and advise members in advance. Secondly, to to plan in haste in terms of securing appropriate uniforms of the right sizes to members. Over the years, although this has improved in the last 3, 2, and the last 1 year, there's still room for improvement. Some members still are not able to get the right uniforms that they required. I also urge the committee and the leadership of the two houses to allow members prepare for these games appropriately, to prepare by allowing and arranging friendlies, to prepare by allowing and arranging the respective disciplines, to at least have some camp for training before the games. Mr. Speaker, we did badly in Mombasa, but it must also be understood that we only traveled with 1 day to spare. Many of the other teams had camped in Mombasa for at least 1 week, which we were not privileged to have. We hope that now that we are going to our neighboring country, we will be allowed to at least camp. We will be allowed to bring supporters, which we have not usually brought, even if those supporters are in the name of our own staff members, and that we will be able to prepare for these games appropriately. Mr. Speaker, I am confident that the 8 or 9 disciplines that will be participating, we will do much better than we did in Mombasa. And on behalf of the soccer team, I can assure you and assure this House that we are practicing in earnest, and we look forward to all the support that we can get from the leadership. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Amolo. The JPC to the games, which you are a member with Kawaya and somebody else, must take this very seriously. In Mombasa, you recall I went to watch the volleyball game against Rwanda or Burundi. You didn't even have a substitute player. Not even one substitute player. And we were not very comfortable. You saw our football, how Tanzania sent rings around us, and so on and so forth. Please prepare in earnest. The clerk is directed, like I said, to enable the teams to prepare properly and thoroughly. You must be physically fit to play football, Honorable Mboko Milemba. Now I'll give, who is the chairman of sports? I said we'll start with the chairman of sports. Dan Wanyama is not here. Let me give Cynthia Muge, who wanted to make a statement on this. Thereafter, can we do a minute or two each? 2 minutes each? Okay, Cynthia, go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to congratulate the great sportsmen and women who represented Kenya in Tokyo for the 2025 championship. Honorable Speaker, we are proud of that team because it has brought back the glory that Kenya as the powerhouse for sports and athletics, Honorable Speaker, has always been. Remember, Honorable Speaker, this is our 3rd best performance since the inauguration of the championships, Honorable Speaker. We've had 18 medals previously, and we've had another 15 medals previously. And today, Honorable Speaker, we have 11 medals. We want to appreciate all the gold medalists, the list that you have presented to this House today, Honorable Speaker, and we appreciate their efforts that they have been able to once again, like we have mentioned in this House, that this is the team that hoists the flag of Kenya every other time. And Honorable Speaker, we have also said that they have not been appreciated enough because of the very good work that they do. Honorable Speaker, we remain the best in Africa, and it is such a proud moment, Honorable Speaker, to be African. And it is even the best moment to be Kenyan, Honorable Speaker. And every day, Honorable Speaker, our athletes continue confirming that Kenya is the absolute kingdom of athletics and championships, Honorable Speaker. And we appreciate the people that represented us as a country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to note that over time, our athletes have been doing a very good job. Previously, Honorable Speaker, we have contemplated having them have translators. But this time around, Honorable Speaker, when you listened to Ewoy speaking, when you listened to Perez speaking, when you listened to Wanyonyi speaking, When you listened to Faith Kipyegon speaking, you felt proud as a Kenyan because our athletes are properly able to present themselves, Honorable Speaker, and express themselves. Honorable Speaker, this also calls for responsibility for us. As a country that hosts these great people, what are we doing to support the sports, Honorable Speaker? And I appreciate the government of Kenya Kwanza because of the up-to-standard stadiums that we are building. And Honorable Speaker, I am seeing a brighter future for athletes, and we want to really appreciate them so that they can continue hoisting the flag of Kenya. We want to tell all the gold medalists and the people who have participated that as Kenyans, we...
Thank you. KJ.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for your communication. In your communication, you indicated that Kenya is a very small country compared to countries like America. America is probably 6 times the size of Kenya in population, around 17 times in size. And it is so, we are in our place, Mr. Speaker, to be celebrating our athletes who brought us glory. Mr. Speaker, it is to make the observations going forward that one, as you noted in our communication, our male athletes will need a boost. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, it is also to recognize that sports is a national event. It never matters who will wear the gold medal. Mr. Speaker, in the past, any community has had an opportunity to bring glory to Kenya. And so when we see a runner coming from Migori and winning gold and breaking record, Mr. Speaker, this brings our country together in such a way that we are reminded of our glory times when we knew in athletics a medal could come from anywhere. From Eastern, we have had Rose Tatamuya. From Central, we have had John Gugi and Wanjiro. Now we are having Omanyala and Odira from Nyanza. This is to say, Mr. Speaker, that if we set up centers...
Omanyala is not from Nyanza.
No, Omanyala from Western. Omanyala from Western and Odira from Nyanza. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to be corrected. And of course, our powerhouse in Rift Valley, where we breed champions, Mr. Speaker. The point I was making is that these athletics, just like the football that just went, was just needing leadership, Mr. Speaker. And when we offered leadership, we start winning again, and it is to congratulate Kenya, to congratulate the athletes, and for bringing Kenya back to winning ways on the international platform. I thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Bensouda.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And I want to thank you because you've spearheaded the love for sports and given even a clear framework for others that are yet to come. Honorable Speaker, I rise on behalf of women in this nation to confirm that truly women can lead. And the athletes who went there have exhibited exemplary performance. And this portrays that women are capable and competent of leading and giving the mantle. I rise also on behalf of Nyanza region. We have a movement of the Luos in this country called, in vernacular, allow me to quote, Segand Nyinam, the story of the daughters of the lake. Lillian Odira happens to come from Migori County. And Honorable Speaker, we are celebrating as Nyinam, the daughters of the lake. And I want to ask you, Mr. Speaker, that as the athletes will be invited for dinner, I want you also to organize a special dinner for the Speaker and invite all women in this House to join you with those women who has led this country. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I congratulate them.
Thank you. Is that Kimayo? Or Cherorot? Cherorot?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to also participate and congratulate our athletes who managed to do us proud in Tokyo. I want to say, Mr. Speaker, this country is actually powerhouse because of the sports or athletics, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to talk about Patrice Chebet. I mention her because she comes from my constituency, Mr. Speaker, and Patrice started, actually, there's a camp we started in 2006, and she has really proved to be one of the heroines who can be able to represent this country. I want to say, Mr. Speaker, that this country, we rely on athletes who are actually using only food without using enhancement substances, Mr. Speaker. And I want to encourage, Mr. Speaker, that our athletes should always be able to practice without doping, Mr. Speaker. I want to say also that the coaches are there, Mr. Speaker. They are unseen team who are actually managing to train and also teamwork in this country. I want to say we are proud of our athletes and congratulations to this country and also those who represented us abroad. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Mwalio. Mwalio, you normally sit somewhere else.
Yeah, nimeama. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate our athletics for the best performance and the proud they have given us in this country, because we are rated one of the best in this continent. We would like to say that even we will do better in the future, given the sports academies that are being built in many of our constituencies, because we will take our students there to practice, and even the young people that have finished schools that they have nothing to do, we'll be able to take them there and be able to practice, to be able to excel in the sports. So we congratulate them and we say, well done, our Kenyan team. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Mwalio. Haika.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for this opportunity. I also want to join my colleagues in congratulating Team Kenya, which was on Tokyo, for a very good performance that really united the country. Recently, we had football and also brought the country together. And Mr. Speaker, I also want to congratulate the government for the good work that is doing for the sportsmen and women in this country. The many stadia that are being built and sports academy, I know they will come a long way in supporting talent in this country. And Mr. Speaker, this has not just come. I know there was a lot of hard work, focus and discipline. And therefore, I also want to urge the students who are here to work hard. And also want to congratulate school from Taita Taveta St. Mary's. Welcome to Bunge. We are honored to have you here. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you for the opportunity.
Kibagendi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also want to take this opportunity to appreciate and congratulate our team that represented Kenya in the Tokyo World Championships. It is indeed a demonstration that the Kenyans' resilience and determination is something the rest of the world should emulate. We would like to call upon government and those involved in the sports, in athletics, to give a bit of attention this time to men. You realize that the men this time didn't perform very well, but we appreciate the effort they put and we congratulate our team for the wonderful job that they've done. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Deputy Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to be able to commend our athletes. As a lover of athletics and also as the race promoter of the Eldoret City Marathon, I really was delighted to see the performance of our athletes. And as parliamentarians, I'd like to urge us to continue to work on the nurturing part. We have worked on our stadiums. Our stadiums now are world accredited, which means that we can actually be bidding as Kenya to host the next World Championships. Last time we missed the hosting the championships because we did not have the stadiums up to standard. But now we do, thanks to the CHAN football tournaments that were here. We also want to request that the Ministry of Sports puts more effort not only on celebrating the athletes once they have made history, but to also nurture them. We have several athletes
most of them in Uasin Gishu County, Nandi County, and Elgeyo Marakwet County, where the challenge that they have is that they are living in dilapidated camps. The camps are privately owned, and most of them sometimes don't have food and clothes and so on. So one of the things we must emphasize is nurturing them before they make the news. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I urge all the members to support us on this. Thank you.
Okwome.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me a chance to air my opinion on what happened in Japan. Mr. Speaker, it was a wonderful job. My congratulations to all our teams which were there, and in particular, let me congratulate Odera, who comes from an area where for many years the name of Migori had never been heard in athletics. This is a wonderful thing, and I think it is important I say something to congratulate him, and even to congratulate those who are not concerned, like the Migori people, together with our region. I urge them to do even better so that we can come up and compete nationally and internationally in order that Kenya can also benefit from us in terms of athletics. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Garrido.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I also take this chance to applaud and congratulate our athletes who are in Tokyo. Mr. Speaker, they did us proud. I was very happy, as many other Kenyans were, when our flag was raised high against other even bigger economies and stronger countries in the world. They really made us proud. I really congratulate them. Mr. Speaker, this year has been a year of blessings to us as a country in terms of sports. Remember even the way our Harambee Stars did us wonders in this country. It shows that our teams and the players, given an opportunity, promoted and supported, can do wonders in this world. Mr. Speaker, we encourage our young people to continue taking part in sports, remembering that sports is only not a sport these days, it's also a profession that pays well. We encourage our young people to continue participating and giving it the best so that this country can also grow. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mama Busia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to actually applaud our Team Kenya for flying our flag so high and making every Kenyan realize that actually we do not have boundaries when it comes to such activities. Kenya is one, whether it is whatever tribe that is participating in any sport, any event, all Kenyans, the way they get glued on the screen and praise and scream and just wish that we take it, is what we should be doing even in progressing our own world, our own country. I want to also appreciate the President for supporting, motivating these young people. That's all they need from us. We must keep supporting them, their welfare, everything that they need must be given to them on time so that they don't go down, but we add numbers. We need all the counties also to participate in the Olympics, all other games in the world. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Kingara. Honorable Kingara.
Mr. Speaker, sir, for giving this opportunity to congratulate Kenyans who did very well there in Japan and elsewhere. Mr. Speaker, it has been noted that when athletes are motivated, they do their work well. I don't know whether, Mr. Speaker, we have an ample budget in our national budget which facilitates our athletes or sportsmen and women when they're out there. You noted, Mr. Speaker, when Kenyans doing football here were added, they did well. But the question is, do we have a consistent budget which can facilitate them consistently so that we can do well consistently too? Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, even Parliament should honor this appreciation by also coming up strong and even giving a room or a garden, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, remember when I stood here talking matters sports, I requested whether even Parliament can have good facilities, including a field, where we can be doing our own sports affairs, noting that even the private sectors have the same. Mr. Speaker, this is not a big deal. Let's work and have good facilities even for our own self. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the parliamentary games, we are not consistent. I stand and say, in the athletics, we are not consistent. We need to start early, as you directed, but also be guided, especially on which facilities to use. As I stand here, we have not been committed to a serious grounds of doing our, and you know we are old, doing our we are.
Thank you. Wangare says you are old alone. It's not collective. Give him 30 seconds. Yes.
A second. The point I wanted to make, we have very young parliamentarians here, Mr. Speaker, whom I don't find out there. That's the age coming. That's why the age is coming in. Let's have our own young parliamentarians out there competing with the rest of the East African community. Thank you.
Oundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. On behalf of the people of Funyula constituency, allow me to congratulate and sincerely thank the athletes that brought honor and fame to the people of Kenya. It was always refreshing to watch. It was captivating to watch whenever I had time to watch. And indeed, it showed that there's another face of Kenya than what is beamed in some other international media all over the world. Honorable Speaker, we continuously urge the Athletics Authority and the sports fraternity to continuously invest in male sports. We seem to start to lag behind in the male sports in athletics, which is not a good sign at all. Our men for many years did much, much better than the ladies. I have nothing against the ladies, but as we invest in women's sports, let's likewise invest in men's sports. And Honorable Speaker, the neglect of the boy child is now being reflected all over, be it in schools, be it in performance, be it in employment, be it in marital status. It is important that society, we must address that matter critically so that we can move at the same pace. Finally, Honorable Speaker, when you talked about the poor performance of National Parliament in the Yala Games, Honorable Jacko Amboka said they didn't lose much. They might have lost on the pitch, but they scored other medals, and the time for the medals to be seen is almost this time, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.